Oh, look at that! That's going to be a picture. And welcome back, viewers on YouTube and Twitch. Stephen Burns says YouTube's still buffering. Oh, Twitch is okay. Not sure what's going on. Can't fix it. It's fine on Twitch. YouTube's still poor. YouTube works for me at 1080p, buffered a tiny bit twice, but then cleared up. Okay, maybe that solved the issue. Maybe it didn't. Just in case you are just joining us, let's go back to this. Welcome back to the Volkswagen Jetta Cup, powered by GT Omega, in partnership with VCO Esports, where we get our lovely pictures from on the website, theracingline.org. We're here for Road Atlanta, round 5 of 7, races 9 and 10. I'm your commentator, Jack Johns, and you're being broadcast on the Racing Line YouTube and Twitch. Good to see Biggie Morello in Twitch chat, Jan Weiswanger in Twitch chat, Andre is on YouTube chat, Stephen Burns is swapping between the two. And let's get started. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go through our championship, shall we? And then see. Oh, because I reset everything, I just need to resend that data, and then that shouldn't take too long. Let's have a look. So this is your team standings then. Before this round, as of round 4, Meatball Motorsport round off the field in P12, Viking Raiders, Zero Forks Given and Parallel Racing Group in 11th, 10th and 9th respectively. Then you jump up to the 400 pointers with Lurchus Gaming chasing down Goldwing Motorsport in P8 and P7. Send it and bend it, just break the 600 point barrier in P6. Masters of Torque 34 points ahead of them in P5 with ORD 675 points for them, only 8 points behind Pulsar Esports. They'll be looking to pass that team today and enter the top 3 for what I would assume may be the first time. I don't know if that's unfair of me to say, but possibly the first time that ORD have been in the top 3 of the team standing, especially with 12 teams. You got Street Casuals up there with 788 points, just 3 points behind Win It or Bin It, who still lead the way as of round 4. And then your driver standings are as follow. We'll go through the top 18. Jake Cranston leads the way with Austin Farr and Stephen King in 2nd and 3rd. Carl Ridley P4, Andre Mayerek P5. Henry Morse, Patrick Depart, Stephen Burns, John Bailiff and Kieran Dempsey round off your top 10. You'll keep an eye on John Bailiff. He's going to be jumping up the order after missing a round. Missing the previous round. Don't forget there is a drop round in this season of 7 races, which won't come into effect obviously until the last round is done. You got Sam Van Alsten P11, Jerry Agard P12, Timu Toyka P13, Dan Downing, Andy Fox, Eric Mannetveld, Martin Wallace and Morgan Burkhardt. And then we have Josh Germany, David Corfer, Sikla Quaig, Schwind, Gjesdal, Amundaray Anderson, Otley Thornton, Caraday Thon, Gibson, Camadullen, Weisbanger, Murray, Holmichael, Rutten and Henriksen rounding off your 36 car field. A few of them not being able to take part in the remainder of the season for various reasons. Had a little bit of contact out there a second ago, not sure where that was from. Beautiful circuit this, as we see the sun rise or set. Got headlights on. It looks like Cranston out at the moment is quickest, so let's flick forward to qualifying. Ooh, we got a nice pit lane camera here as well. There's John Bailiff at the front of the train. Looks like Andy Fox is going to make it out first though. Mayerek, there's a PRG car, Burns, and then we've got a couple of side-by-siders, and there goes John Bailiff. He's picked up, side-by-side with Patrick Depart as they leave the pit lane. ORD and Win It or Bin It scrapping for position there. I wonder what took John's car a little bit longer to get out of the pits there. we see them all go up the hill in single file. Lovely little shot here. Just seen there's a Fox commercial on this track. I hear they want their money back after Andy's performance, says Stephen Burns. Get straight in there with the abuse. Look at this for a camera angle. You see all the cars coming down the S's. Bounce over that curve on the inside. Jan says, crashed me after the finish, but that got ignored. We did see that. Did get seen. Oh, the cars haven't made it that far. Where are we? This is apparently turn 9. So the back straight, and we can see them all going 2 by 2 here. This will be everyone trying to figure out who wants to get the slipstream lead, as we see one of the Win It or Bin It cars come flying through. There's only one person who'll take to the grass like that. He is Australian. Yes, it was Kyle Ridley. Everyone else coming through casually. Cruising down. Loic Thon rounding off that field. Someone else in the background there. And then into the chicane, ready for their first flying laps then. So who shall we follow? Who haven't we followed? I feel like so many people to follow here. I'm not sure who we haven't followed. We need to make a decision quickly as we go on board. Who are we on board with already? They're following Kieran Dempsey, whoever this is. It's not coming up with who it is. Let's see. Let's play a guessing game. Who is this? Can you tell from the suit as we enter down? I have a feeling this is Jan Weiswanger, the orange suit, if I remember rightly. As we see one of the Street Casuals cars go off to the left, bounces over this curve. Kieran Dempsey up the road. Dipped a wheel in the gravel there, and with the updated gravel physics, that would have definitely cost him a little bit of time. I think that's Andy Fox up the road on the track map all by himself. Ah, there we go. It is Weiswanger. We are on board with the Meatball Motorsport car, the sole Meatball Motorsport car on the grid today. Holmichael and Rutten, of course, not in the field. What kind of speeds do we reach down this back straight? Jerry's popped into Twitch chat, says hello everyone. Coming down, and we're going to reach the 200 mark again like we did last week at Watkins. We do just about get to the braking zone at 200 kilometers an hour then. So what are the first times going to be as we come up to the board? Andy Fox has crossed the line, and then the rest of the field looks like they're going to be crossing the line very soon. We can see some 136s there. Stephen Burns did a 138 as it pops up at the bottom of the times. 137 for Kieran Dempsey and Weiswanger, 138.005. 38.5 for Loic Thon. Looking handsome today, Jerry says. Cranny Cart. As always, thanks, he says in Twitch chat. Jan Weiswanger says, yeah, that's me. I know the gloves. He recognises those orange and green gloves as he flies through. Slides it through there. It's currently this man. Fastest. Reigning champion. #1 driver. And actually, compared to recent races, 2/10 is a big gap from memory, to be honest. 136.151 by the PRG driver Morgan Burkhardt. His home season, can't call it a home race because pretty much all the tracks bar one are in America. And as we know, America's a fairly small country. So this is, all of the races have been his home races. We see Corpus jump up the order. Cranston jumps up the order. He's in P12 again, Cranston. Bailiff jumps up into P2 there. Who's he following? Ruslan and Alejandro Caraday. Not to someone told you that John Bailiff set the second fastest time of the grid, 36 hundredths slower than Morgan Burkhardt, following ZFG driver Ruslan Kamadullin and PRG driver Alejandro Caraday, you'd call me mental. But that's what he's just done. Speaking of those drivers, where are they currently on the grid? Caraday is currently down in 24th here. The Spaniard, number 55 machine, 1.4 seconds off of pole at the moment. Ruslan is behind him on circuit, but he's actually in P10 at the moment, only 4 tenths off of the top time. So it is still fairly tight across the field. A second separates 21st to 1st. And there's a lot more corners here than there were last week at Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen, a very slipstreamy circuit, basically an oval, so of course the field was close. But this circuit a little bit more technical than last week's, but the gap's fairly similar. Dan Thornton looking to break into that 1 second barrier as we see Ruslan pass Caraday in qualifying. Never noticed the saying cold tyres are cold on the side skirts of the ZFG machine, but just saw it then as he went through the chicane. Carl Ridley jumps up into P7, drops to P8 as Van Olst goes to P5 as he crosses the line. Downing jumps up, Cranston jumps up, Morse jumps up. It's a full rearrangement, and Burkhardt goes quickest again, fastest in all of the sectors. Morgan Burkhardt does a 1:35.7, but Cranston jumps up into P2, just 1 tenth, nearly 2 tenths off. And we've got a Street Casuals 3-4 with Austin Farr jumping up to P3, Henry Morse P4, Stephen King for Pulsar Esports, the sole Pulsar Esports driver as well, up into P5. Looking forward to Willow, it's going to be mental. Don't know what to expect at Willow next week, to be honest. An unusual circuit, a fun circuit, but different to most circuits that we've raced on, I think. Final turn is definitely going to be a tricky one. There's 10 seconds left of this, and I don't think anyone is within 10 seconds of the line, so that is going to be that. Looks like your grid is decided, and it definitely, that 1:35 made the spread look a lot bigger. It's now 1 second between 1st and 16th. Your grid is as follows then. Morgan Burkhardt takes his second pole position of the season, matching Jake Cranston's 2 poles. The only other pole position going to Stephen King, if I remember rightly. Austin Farr and Henry Morse, like I said, make a Street Casuals row 2. We've got King and Bailiff on row 3. Burns and Dempsey row 4. Van Olst part row 5. And Ridley and Downing on row 6. Agard, Majorek, Kamadullin up in P15. Corpus, Otley, Murray, Fox and Thornton, your top 20. Gjesdal, Lequay, Thon, Caraday, Weisfanger and Geschwind rounding off the field. 10 drivers not being able to make it today, but 26 drivers still on the grid then. That's not the camera we want. There we go. That's a decent one, although that's not going to show the actual leaders, weirdly enough. That one does. There we go. When will Morgan Burkhardt appear? Jerry says one of the best tracks on the service, in my opinion. Talking about Willow Springs, not Road Atlanta. Here we go. The cards starting to appear now. And now we just listen for the revs. No lights on the replays. Jan says, I have the track and have never driven. I can hear the revs on now, so you'd assume that the red lights are on. We should see some puffs of smoke shortly. There we go. And it looks like Henry Morse had a jump start there, actually. There was a bit of wheel spin from everybody else. And it looked like Henry jumped forward a little bit, stopped, and then went. I don't know if everyone else saw that, if it was just my eyes. But that's an interesting start for the Street Casuals car. But Austin Farr's still up there, side by side with Cranston already as they head up the hill towards this kink. Can be dangerous, but Morgan's got a sterling lead already with Jake Cranston in P2, 6 steps back. Austin Farr slots in behind. Then we've got King, Bailiff, Burns, Dempsey, Van Olst. We've got some few people swapping over at the back there as they go down the S's. No, we can't see anyone there. We want this camera as we... There we go. Turn 5. And oh, look at that. That's the Viking Raiders cars round. That's Gjesdal round and off on the grass, but the rest of them making it through. He turns around, gets back onto the circuit, I'm sure, into turn 6. Burkhardt leads from Cranston. They're 3 wide behind Van Olst, Dempsey, and that'll be Morse after his slow start, but we'll expect to see him come into the pits shortly after that drive-through. He's got 3 laps to serve it. Otley down the inside of the next right-hander, and there we go. Burkhardt still leads. Look at the train come down the back straight now. That's Majorek and Agard side by side. Corpus still fighting it out. Geschwind rounding off the back of the field, and Gesdal trying to catch up to the rest of them. He's got it facing the right way as we hear the diesel engines roar down the back straight. All 26 machines, front-wheel drive, TDI Jettas fighting through. And look at this. This is where it gets dangerous. The heavy braking zone down the end of the long straight. Camadullen holding off and fending off everyone. I think that's Loic Thon defending everybody in this little 5-car train at the back. As we see them come from under the bridge, you can see Burkhardt still leading the way. Dempsey on the back of this train. Ridley trying to catch up to the top 8. And then look at Weiswanger side by side. Henry Morse has come into the pits, unfortunately, after his jump start. Weiswanger was side by side with Lequay through that final corner. You've got Andy Fox as well up the road. He's just past Ruslan Camadullen, who looks like he's got a slow down. He would have got that into the chicane. I know the left-hander can be a bit of a pain there. He's trying to keep clear of everybody. And look at Murray trying to come through as well, down through the S's. Fastest lap so far goes to Sam Van Olst, just further up the road, but Burkhardt still leads the way then. This is what your lead train looks like. No big gaps forming in this top 8 so far, and it looks like Ridley might be able to catch up to this lot, especially if they start fighting, but fairly tight in the top field. I wonder if I've got any. I think if I remember rightly, we've got some drone cams that will make their return at Road Atlanta. Sam Van Olst behind Stephen Burns, not looking to gain anything yet. It looks like Agard and Majorek are fighting just up the road from Andy Fox in P16. This is your reverse pole position. And Agard, Otley, Majorek side by side down the back straight. The Lurch's car comes over to the racing line, brakes in front, and you can see just in front of this Lurch's car, that's Corpus in front. Greg Otley's now under pressure as Jerry Agard lost out to Andre Majorek there, I think. But Otley is about to lose out to Corpus as well as he goes down the inside of the final turn, bounces over the curb. On lap 3 now, Dempsey takes the fastest lap. He's at the back of that lead train. And Fox trying to slot in front as well, passing Lequay. Geschwind and Camadullen fighting it out at the back. There we go. That's the drone cam. The drone through the S's. You can see the Send It and Bend It car and the ZFG machine. Oh, look at that. Did you see that as they filtered down into single file through the S's? It gets pretty tight through there for sure. And I think that is the lead train as they come into turns 6 and 7. No one sending it down into that corner for sure, but Burkhardt leads the way then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Carl looks to be closing a little bit onto that train. And it looks like the PRG boys fighting it out there. That's Caraday and Thon having a decent battle through 6 and 7. I think it was, I can't remember if it was race 1 or race 2. It might have been both races, but Jerry and Andre are in chat. But those two having a right old fight all the way through this round. Loic Thon then coming under pressure from Dan Thornton now as well as Corpus and Otley are side by side again down towards the chicane. I think Otley's going to try and go around the outside. Can he get it done? Who breaks later? Otley around the outside of the Lurch's gaming machine, and Otley moves up into P14 then, or holds on to P14, but Corpus is all over the back of him as we're on lap 4 of 8. We're halfway through. King takes the fastest lap in P4, but the 3 in front of him trying to break away then. 4 tenths, a decent gap compared to the 3 in front, and behind him looks like this. You got Bailiff, Burns, Van Olst, Dempsey and Ridley, and Downing rounding off your top 10. And as usual, the two ORD boys pretty close to each other. And there we go then. You can see them all coming over the brow of that hill as they exit turn 5. Austin getting pretty close to the back Jake Cranston, any more fights going on down that back straight? Doesn't look like anyone's close enough. This is a weird corner to send it on, to be fair. Into T6 and 7. That's Otley leading that little train. And then behind us we hear the lead train go past. And there you can see them all. I'm surprised we don't see, from this angle, we don't see them weave in to try and break slipstream, but the straight's so long, they know it's just not possible to get people out of the tow here, as we see the send it or bend it car of Fox and Otley and Corpus going free wide down towards the chicane. Let's have a look at that. How does this play out? Corpus on the outside, then Otley in the middle, Andy Fox on the inside. Who's going to come out on top? They're all going to try it. They turn into the chicane, 3 wide. Do they make the second apex? No! Otley gets sandwiched in the middle, and Fox is going to lose out the most here, I think, as he gets passed by nearly everyone. Lequay, Corpus is gone. Lequay passes Otley. Weiswanger passes Otley. Fox is about to get passed by Thon, who sends it down the inside of the final corner. He's going to lose out a number of positions. He was the outside car in the end of the 3 wide fight through the chicane. It was always going to close. Cam will get some action in race 2, says Jan Weiswanger. We'll wait for that. Duncan Murray gives Dan Thornton a love tap up the bum for no reason. Always touching each other, those two. Geschwind, Murray around the outside of Geschwind into that corner. That was very risky. Gets it done though. Fastest lap now goes to John Bailiff then in P5. There I am on P16 till the game cheats me, says Jan Weiswanger. He's currently defending from Greg Otley. Oh, that looked like it was going to be close into that corner. It's not really a sendy corner, as I said a minute ago on the drone cam. The PRG boys behind, once again side by side into that turn. We don't see people often make passes there, but these two have been trying it side by side almost every lap so far. Downing and Depart going side by side as well, or is that down? We know Patrick's a bit of a blinker at times, so no, they weren't side by side. I think it was just Patrick's connection again. Biggest gainer so far in this race is Jan Weiswanger for Meeple Motorsport. He's up 9 positions from where he qualified. We've got Greg Otley trying to come down. Andy Fox is going to try and go around the outside of someone. That's Dan Thornton on his inside. He's got Loic Thon in front of him, the Dutch driver. Duncan Murray through the inside of Dan Thornton. He's going to get that done. That's a cracking move from the Goldwing driver. The South African going down the inside of Dan Thornton into the second part of the chicane. Follows Andy Fox through and moves up into 21st place. Dempsey still trying to chase down Stephen Burns. This is what it looks like on the nose cam of the Win It or Bin It machine. And there, actually, Jan Weiswanger tumbles down the order, so he knew something was going to happen. Let's have a quick look at that replay. Greg Otley, Jan Weiswanger crossing over paths, and oh my god, from that angle, that was a hell of a speed that he's hit that wall in. Let's have one more look at that, because he hit that. Let's what camera is that camera going to catch it? I don't think it will. This camera might. This will be an interesting one. So you got Weiswanger on the outside, Otley on the inside, and then both of them just go for a cross of path here. You're just going to see them come up to the top of the hill. He disappears behind the timing board. Does he come back on circuit? I don't think he does. Oh, he does. There he is. You can just see his rear wheel pop into shot. And oh, there's another ZFG car. That looked close. One more replay from Ruslan Kamadalin's point of view. Oh, it's very tight. It's very tight through there. Anyway, continuing on then. Cranny Cart says jinkies as we see Weiswanger go down the order. He's going to continue, but his car's looking a bit worse for wear. On lap 6 of 8 then. Morgan Burkhardt continues to lead the way from pole position. Jake Cranston P2, Austin Farr P3, Stephen King P4, Bailiff in P5. Sam Van Olsen your top 6, Stephen Burns P7, Kieran Dempsey trying to chase him down. Things looking fairly close back here as well. Duncan Murray slots in behind Andy Fox. He's going to give Andy a little bit of a push to try and pass the PRG cars in front of him. That's Loic Thon, Alejandro Caraday in front of him. And it looks like Cranston's just made a move for the lead. He's going around the outside of the chicane. Burkhardt's going to get the run down the inside through the bridge though. And Austin Farr's going to try and come through as well. But it doesn't look like he's got the grunt going down the hill, weirdly enough. That looked fairly close. But Burkhardt continues to lead then, as Cranston now tries to have another look down the inside of turn 1. But it looks like he's lifted to back out of it. But can Farr take advantage of that? No. Slots in behind. No change there. Depart and Majorek look like they've swapped over, as we see some more changes of position down the back as well. Jan says the car was broken, no speed left. I'm not surprised with how hard it hit the wall. I'm surprised the engine didn't blow, to be honest. Andy Fox has lost out somehow back here. He's just lost a couple positions. As we see Ruslan and Geschwind go past. I wonder if he had a slowdown. Oh, Geschwind just had a lovely drift around that corner. That's going to ruin his run down this next part. Can Andy pass down the S's? That'll be a hell of a move if he can pull that off. Don't see people pass down here. It's just not the done thing, really. There's your lead train. That was the gap between your lead train and the back. So the back of the pack on the other side of this straight. And your leaders disappear off down the Motul straight, Motul sponsorship board straight. And where is Jan Weiswanger? There he is. Cruising. Marcus Gesdel, the next car, all the way over there. And it looks like Cranston may be trying to take the lead again. He does. It's lap 7 of 8, and that was a lot easier this time. He got it done before the braking zone. So Cranston moves up into the lead then. No tight fight to make that move done. He just got it done on the main straight in the slipstream. But Jake Cranston takes the lead from Morgan Burkhardt, the number 1 car. Otley and Lequay into the chicane. Looks like Otley got it done on the brakes. But can Burkhardt get this back? He weaves out to scare him into turn 1. Nothing doing there. Slots in behind. As close as he can be into this corner. It looks like Cranston's all sorts of out of shape through there. Bounces over the grass. Gets back on circuit. Not sure if there's a slowdown on the inside of that, but it doesn't look like he's struggling too much. He would have ruined his run a little bit on the grass. Carry some speed through that corner, no problem. And now what can Morgan Burkhardt do? Austin Farr's going to be right behind him as well. Stephen King's going to get a cracking view of this as well. As they go into the right-hander, nothing to be done here. Over to the left-hand side. Contact there between them. Morgan Burkhardt slides out to the left-hand side. Austin Farr comes through. Stephen King's going to come through as well. Jake Cranston's pretty much been handed the win here. Burkhardt's going to lose a couple of places though. He's not just losing out to Austin Farr. I think John Bailiff might get this as well. He does get this. How many more positions is Morgan Burkhardt going to lose here? Sam Van Olst is all over the back of him. Going down towards the chicane. Can Sam Van Olst gain this position as well? Jake Cranston leads the way. Oh, they touch! Sam Van Olst leans on the rear. Morgan Burkhardt looked to be coming over from that point of view, but he's bouncing. Oh, Ridley gets a tap. Downing goes to the inside. Depart tries dodge in. Majorek collects the car. Agard collects the car, drives through. And Morgan Burkhardt, who started this race on pole position, bounces his way down the back straight. He led for most of the race, and that is a sad sight to see as he goes down. But Jake Cranston wins race 1 here. Race 9 overall. Austin Farr comes home in P2. Stephen King P3 and John Bailiff P4. And Sam Van Olst then gets a top 5 after Morgan Burkhardt tumbles down the order. Let's have another look at that. We can't continue without... Oh. Oh no. Can't see anything from these points of views. That's a good one. Let's go straight to that camera then. 10A. didn't stop bouncing. And in fairness, the other camera angles looked fine, but this just made the car look weightless on the second bounce. Definitely would have been a hospital. Yeah, some good dance floor moves. Good hospital job, though. Both definitely needs a checkup, does Morgan Burkhardt after this one. But it looks like he's going to be starting the next race in last. Watch him connect with Ridley's car here as he bounces. Just bounces off Ridley's car there. Downing, I think, avoids it completely. Just. And then Depart avoids it. And then watch Majorek and Agard. They collect him. So they're fighting for position there, side by side. Majorek's going to hit the rear. And then the front hits Jerry Agard. And then everyone continues on their way. And I'm guessing his engine's blown after that, and everyone else is just going to see him parked there. Andy Fox here, fighting Marcus Gesdal. Oh, there he does disappear. Not sure how Andy's race came undone here. Sam says on board. Good shout. If you wanted to feel dizzy. There you go. Andre says, just decided to play volleyball with Jerry Agard. Alright then. Let's have a look at the results for race 1. Jake Cranston, Austin Farr, Stephen King, John Bailiff, Savin Ulster top 5 as mentioned. Burns, Dempsey, Ridley, Downing, Depart round off your top 10 with Majorek, Agard in 11th and 12th. Corpus, Otley, Lecquay and Caraday rounding off your top 16. And of course the top 16 is reversed, so your pole position for race 2 is Alejandro Caraday with Vika Lecquay on the front row, Otley and Corpus on row 2, Agard, Majorek row 3, Depart, Downing row 4, Ridley, Dempsey make it a winner or win it row 5, Burns and Van Alst on row 6, Bailiff and King on row 7, and Farr and Cranston on row 8. In 17th and 18th, Floic Thon and Duncan Murray. Marias, Thornton, Geschwind, Kamadallen, Morse, Gesdal, Fox, Weiswanger and Burkhardt. That drive through penalty affecting Henry Morse massively there, that jump start. Let's go forward and go straight into race 2. Double the amount of laps. One pit stop forced. This is the one. I can still see people watching on YouTube, so I'm assuming YouTube's fixed itself a little bit, but we've definitely got a lot more viewers on Twitch today. Playing it safe with the old buffering issue. Here we go then. I can hear the revs. So the race is about to get underway. Race 10. What was I about to say then? Round 5 of 7. Race 10 is about to get underway, and away they go. Caraday gets a dreadful start. Look at the run Ika Lecquay is going to get already. Before they get down to turn 1, Ika Lecquay is going to take the lead of this race, and Greg Otley might be able to get this position as well as he goes around the outside of Caraday. Not anything doing there. There's a little bit of a touch actually. Caraday sliding around turn 1. And look at Ika Lecquay lead then. Corpus is going to come through on the inside of Caraday into this next right-hander. Side by side they go. It's 2x2. There's a blinking car there. We don't want the blinking car to affect any of this. And look at the lead that Lecquay has now coming down the S's. It's 1 second as he gets towards the right-hander. And it's Caraday in second. Corpus third. Otley down to fourth. And then the rest of them, I mean, are as you see. Murray side by side with Kamadullen there through that next corner. Love the sound of these cars when they're all together. They're nearly 4 wide as they go into turn 6 and 7. Van Alst around the outside of Ridley there. Murray now coming under pressure from one of the Street Casuals cars near the back. That was one of the... I didn't see actually which car that was, but there we go. It's because there's so many of them at this stage as we see them disappear off down from the drone cam. And that is Austin Farr and Kieran Dempsey side by side as they go down towards the chicane. Jake Cranston as well, just behind Austin Farr still. Championship rivals, technically, although the points gap pretty hefty at the moment. Not sure how the drop round will come into effect. Van Alsten's apart. Every time I see every time I see Depart's name change, I think it's a battle, but I think he's just blinking. As we see Bailiff pushing Downing down the hill to try and get past Andre Majorek here, who's on the outside of the final turn, but the outside should be stronger on the main straight, but Dan Downing moves over to the left then, gives a bit of slipstream to Andre, boxes him in. No moves being done here. Downing still leads the way. Bailiff has a quick look down the inside, gets his nose down there, but couldn't get anything done through it. Downing turns in like he wasn't there, and it would have been disastrous if they touched, but it didn't, so they continue on their way as we see Dan Thornton lose out to Andy Geschwind as well into that right-hander. And down the hill they go then. Jan Weisbanger trying to come through as well, sticking his nose in down the S's. That's a dangerous move. Not surprised Thornton got out of shape there, because if someone's going to commit to that move, it would be Jan Weisbanger, and he did it. Look at Lequay coming under pressure from Caraday, who swoops around the outside of turn 6 to retake the lead of this race. He started the race on reverse pole position, and Caraday retakes the lead. Sam Van Olst trying to get up through Jerry Agard as well, the Swiss driver for Masters of Talk. Nothing done there. He's going to slot back in between as he moves over on Patrick Depart down the back straight. This is what it looks like on top of Patrick's car. Sam Van Olst now in front of him. Cameron Dunnan looking to make moves as well. Henry Morse here down in 19th, way out of position compared to his pace, is trying to get around Ruslan here down towards the chicane. And it looks like he's got the run, so this should be done. As we see Murray chopping the nose off Morgan Burkhardt as well into that corner. And there we go then. Caraday leads the way. Corpus defends from Van Olst as they go through here. Dempsey on the back of that train. Cameron under pressure from Morse, but still nothing getting done there. Morse still on the inside, but not getting the move done on the ZFG driver. So maybe being given more of a fight than he expected for 17th or 18th place. Oh, but he does get a bit of a slide on there. Touched his rear wheel on the ZFG car. And Ruslan is going to keep the position as he swoops around the outside of that right-hander. Looking at that damage, that is meatball damage. Even though it looks light, I recognise that bent out of shape rear wheel anywhere. Duncan Murray and Morgan Burkhardt still side by side through the S's, and now look at Sam Van Olst making it 3 wide down the back straight. He's going to take 2 cars in one here, Sam Van Olst. He goes up from 4th into P2. Greg Otley then has to back out, drops down into P3. Lequay dropping further down the order. He's now got Corpus for company, but Caraday with a 9/10th lead then just up the road. Sam Van Olst and Greg Otley in P2 and 3. Fastest lap currently, Dan Downing behind Carl Ridley and Jerry Agard. You got all of them are behind. This train's still pretty tight. Ruslan is at 1.6 seconds back then. Cameron Dullan in the ZFG car, United Arab Emirates driver. And Ridley down the inside of Jerry Agard then into turn 10A, but Jerry Agard's still on the inside for turn 10B as they go up the hill. And I don't know if that move's going to be done. I think Jerry Agard's going to keep it. He does. Good defensive driving, but Ridley's still got his nose there as they go down towards the final turn. Can Downing make it 2 wide? Can't get it done. Sam Van Olst then heading towards Alejandro Caraday down towards turn 1. He gets punted. He gets pushed on. Does he go off the circuit? He does. He's heading towards the grass. Sam Van Olst with a bit of contact then. Alejandro Caraday going off the circuit over the grass. Can't do anything about it with the extra speed that he's been given. He's now going to be slow as he comes down the hill after rejoining from the grass. What is everyone else going to do as they come down the hill? There's going to be a slow car in their way. Eric Agard does get through. Ridley's coming through as well and makes contact, pushes the Spaniard into the next corner as he gets pushed a little bit wide. He's all sorts of out of shape. Ridley slams the door. Bailiff's coming through as well. I think he's still slow from the gravel there now on the outside. And look at Patrick Depart in the OLD car. He's going to come swooping around the outside. Can he get it done? I think he is going to get it done, but Caraday in a matter of seconds goes from 1st down to 11th place, 10th place even, but it could be 11th by the time they get down the back of this straight, because Mayorek's coming through as well. He's followed his teammates through, and now Stephen Burns next up on the list. I don't know if he's got a run here. Doesn't look like it. We're on lap 4 of 16. He has got a bit of extra speed here. I don't not sure that rear wing does anything, but it looks like it's affecting his car a lot. Look at Burns. Tries to be later on the brakes. Does scare Carradine away from the apex. Does he get a switchback? What a beautiful textbook move from Stephen Burns in the send it and bend it machine. Astonishing switchback there through the chicane. That was perfectly executed. Scared him off of the first apex. Absolutely set up the next apex to get that move done. Moves up into P11. Does Stephen Burns. Dan Downing, Carl Ridley, side by side. John Bailiff takes advantage of that fight. He's going to try and move up past the Goldwing driver. Can he get his teammate as well? I don't think he can. Oh, look at this. They touch. John Bailiff slams the door on him on the exit. Dan Downing goes across the grass, and now he's going to lose the position to the two ORD cars. That is Depart and Marek coming through. They say thank you very much. That's 8th and 9th for the Blue Titans of that team. Absolutely doing super well this season, them two. Just got stronger and stronger. I said at the start of the season, Stephen Burns was my pick for most improved driver. Or predicted to be most improved driver this season. And of course he has shown that his pace has been immense. He's definitely much further up the championship order, and his racecraft has been insane. But I think these two have flown under the radar a little bit. I say these two. Do you know what? I'm going to say it more. I'm going to call Andre Marek out a little bit more here. I think he's always been up there. He's definitely had the pace. He's always been regarded as one of the cleanest in terms of penalty points. But this season, everyone's been tripping over each other so much more that style of driving has definitely helped Marek this season. He's quite high up in the standings, if I remember rightly. We went through it at the start. John Bailiff says he got a meatball at that phase when he went side by side with Dan Downing through that corner. Corpus and Otley have been side by side through this whole rear section, and we see a number of drivers coming to the pits on lap 5. Corpus tags Otley round, and they're still together, and Jerry Agard gets collected as well as he slides through the S's. Jerry Agard does a bit of a donut. I'm not even sure where that orange car's gone. There he is. Carl Ridley as well gets involved in with the Corpus machine. And then Agard is parked. That's a dangerous corner to rejoin. He waits for everyone to pass, and away he goes. Gonna have that happen so quickly. I don't even know where that begun. Let's see if I can find that to have another look. Definitely started with Corpus and Otley. Can I see their names anywhere? So Otley is off. Agard is round. Corpus and Ridley continue it. As Ridley's car gets spun round, Corpus is coming through. Majorek behind all this. This is what he sees. Absolutely nothing through here. Let's see if we can go back to go back a bit from this point of view. I want to see Andre Marek's really. This is what it looks like. He's going to see these two turn into each other. Just pure smoke. I'm guessing he's going to get the run on Corpus. He lifts off actually, stays behind Corpus. There's Carl Ridley rejoining like a madman. Cuts across, touches Corpus for a second time. Marek has to take to the grass to avoid all these shenanigans. And there's Stephen Burns around the outside. And it looks like there's another car because Marek didn't use all the circuits. Dan Downing around the outside of Marek as well. And look at that's Ruslan Kamadulin trying to come through down the inside of Morgan Burkhardt there. Number 77 getting involved with all the big boys this round. Andy Geschwind is up there as well for Street Casuals in P11. He's up, saying 15 places for Andy Geschwind. But we have seen a number of cars come into the pits, to be fair. I imagine we'll see John Bailiff come in. Oh no, he's already come in. I've missed that pit stop phase. I was looking at the track map. Andre says, previous seasons I kept getting involved in wrecks. I had more luck this season so far. Touch wood. That doesn't change after you've mentioned it and said it out loud. Your lead fight then looks like this. It's Sam Van Alst in the lead. After the contact earlier on with Caraday. Leakway in P2, still holding on to him just about. Corpus then and the rest of them in P3. A little bit further back. Ridley and Burns come into the pits. It is pit stop time. Let's have a look at the pit times so far. So Bailiff to Park, Cranston, King, Farr, Morse, Dempsey, Fox and Murray have stopped. Farr with a 9.7 second stop has the fastest stop time so far. Didn't mean to do that. Did, accidentally. Apologise for the pun. It's too easy with his name. We haven't done puns in a while, actually. Everyone get your worst puns of the drivers' names in this chat. One popped into my mind that I messaged to a driver on Instagram, to the driver on Instagram recently, which was, are you ready for this? It was work hard, Burke harder. I know. It's terrible, right? Anyway, there's a race going on. Van Alst still leads the way. Downing is all over the back of Corpus, and it looks like he's going to make the move down towards the chicane for P3. Burkhardt going to try and get the same move done on Andre Marek. I think he does into the chicane. Moves up into P5. Corpus moves over to the right-hand side. Is he defending or is he going into the pits? It looks like he's going into the pit lane. 9.5, the quickest pit stop then from Jerry Agard. Not sure on the threshold for underfueling this week. Although if 9.7 looked quick, 9.5 looks even quicker. Jerry Agard, does he run out of fuel? Who knows? Is 9.5 too much under the pit stop time? Let's have a look. Actually, no, I'll wait a bit longer for the rest of the pit stop phase before I show the whole pit lane time. Cranston's just set the fastest lap here behind Bailiff and Depart, 36.1. As they pass Corpus in the pits, he's going down the order. He's done a 10-second stop. Not bad stop from Corpus in terms of stoppage time. As we see Camadullen and Caraday side by side into turn 6 again. Caraday loves... Oh, contact there with the ZFG car. Just caught that. Andy Geschwind is going to get a run on Caraday now, I think. Didn't gain the position. He's actually hindered himself here, the 55 machine. Geschwind may be getting the run. He should be in a slipstream. Dan Thornton looks like he's got a run on all of these cars. Is Dan Thornton going to get this done down towards the back straight? Doesn't look like he's closing in any closer. It actually looks like Ruslan's running out of top end. I don't know if he's lifting or what, but that's interesting to see that the slipstream was that strong. These two side by side then, as they go through this chicane. Thornton's going to have the run up the hill. Is he going to change his mind and go to the pit lane? He does. He decides, I'm going to pit. I'm not going to sit behind these two fighting. Lovely pit entry from Dan Thornton and Marcus Gjesdal there. They follow Ruslan Kamadalin in. Jan Weiswanger is there as well. Marcus Gjesdal has been quiet this race. Here he is in P11 having another storming race. Ruslan and Gjesdal having good results at Watkins. Was it Gjesdal or was it... I think it was Gjesdal. I know Ruslan did. It looks like he's on for a strong result here as well on the pit exits. 9.7s. 9.5, still the quickest stop. I think now's a good time to show the full pit lane time to see who took advantage of the pit entry and pit exit. And there you go then. So Patrick Depart a 25.7, Bailiff a 25.3. People, since these pit times have been up here, genuinely people have practiced more their pit entries and exits. Because 25.3 and 25.7 is heaps above the rest of the field here in terms of race time gain. So Bailiff and Depart, you would say, have had a couple of goes at this, or they just absolutely nailed it by fluke. Cranston with a 27-second pit entry and exit. Obviously some of this affected by the random pit stop time. But compared to those guys with 38 seconds, they're gaining 10 seconds of race time, which which is huge, just at a pit stop phase. The rest of them will be coming in, because Schwind has decided not to do his usual strategy of staying out as long as he can. Nolst then the lead car of this group. How much further ahead of these guys is he going to come out? I'm fairly certain he had a decent lead. Might be worth seeing John Bailiff's POV of this, as he looks to go down the inside of Iker Lequay. You can see all the cars in the pits, and it looks like they're all going to come out in front of him, actually, as John Bailiff goes down the inside of Iker Lequay and moves up into a net P2 of this race. Iker Lequay now under pressure from Patrick, who launches it down the inside of that next corner. Brilliant move from Patrick there. And I think the quickest pit stop time is going to go to John Bailiff with a 25.3 this time round. Win it or bin it with the quickest stop. We see some cars blinking behind. Ooh. Here we go then, 4 wide, 3-4 wide down towards turn 6. That's Ridley on the inside, who taps the Masters of Torque car into Stephen King around the outside. There's still 3 wide down to the next bit. That's the Lequay in the middle, and there's more contact there. The cars are going to go all the way around. This is the camera that we said was going to see a lot of action, and look at this as we see cars spinning round down the back straight. Someone's on their roof. That is Henry Morse into the wall. There's a Goldwing car upside down. Some of these guys not slowing down for the accident as they weave in their way. The ZFG car of Greg Otley straight into the back of the parked car in the middle, and that is atrocious. That is dreadful scenes from that crash. And I have a feeling we're going to have to do a rewind here, because it's not letting me click it. So let's have a look and see exactly what caused this. This is the big names issue. This is the fun part, says Jan. Slow this down so I can reset how it looks at everyone. I'm not sure the best angle at watching all of this unfold, to be honest. We're not going to analyse it like it's a stewards room meeting, but there's the what looks like 4 wide from this angle. Then it sorts out into 3 wide as they get towards the apex. Ridley down the inside. Cranston turns in. The rear gets touched of Cranston's car. And then you should see, so that collects Stephen King on the exit. There we go, as they come back into shot. King bounces over the curve, and then watch Lequay here. King's going to rejoin, but on the outside of the circuit. He has room to do so. Cranston's going to come out in front of all of this. Ridley's still on the inside. Lequay in the middle as King sweeps down towards the apex. Still 3 wide. Taps Lequay's front round. And then that is going to go into... I'm not sure we're going to get... Ooh, this will be a good view. Big names, no brakes. I wonder what this will show. Yeah, the front taps into Ridley's car, which then hits Stephen again. And you should just see them emerge from out from under that tree. Henry Morse into the back of Ridley. That's on your right-hand side of your screen. So you've got the win it or bin it machine. Morse into the back of Ridley, who is stuck in 3rd gear. That puts him into Iker Lequay. Collects the send it or bend it car of Burns. An absolute innocent passenger. Lequay doesn't know what to do here. Burkhardt's going to come through. Cranston's going to fly past. And look, there's Lequay. Turns. Dan Downing was full pinned. Bounces his car. Dempsey's made it through. Mayorek's going to make it through. This is Henry Morse. Oh, does he get Burns again? Not quite. Andy Fox is going to come into this. As he does touch Henry Morse's car. Gushwind is going to come flying through. Corpus. Camadullen. Ridley comes through. I think it was Otley who crashed again, but he's just gone out of shot, so this isn't the best camera for it. We'll have 1 or 2 onboards and then we'll continue, but that was a lot of cars involved in that. That'll be a lot of meatballs. And that was Dan Thornton there in the distance as well. We see a lot of cars worse for wear as they come down the back straight. That's Agard with a blown engine. There's Stephen King rejoining the race. He was well involved in that. There's a couple more blown engines. Henry Morse. Dan Thornton. And Loic Thon actually doesn't look like he's got a blown engine. He looks safe. This is Jake Cranston's on board. Let's go on Kings. Switched to Greg Otley's. We definitely saw his EFG car come barreling into that crash. And there we go, there's the contact. So King off the road, turns in, there'll be a car in the middle, there. And then that's where I could do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this is Greg Otley then, a little bit further down as it all unfolds up the road. So all the big crashes have started to happen here. He's got Carraday in front of him, so he's got no vision here of the stopped car in front. And just Carraday does the thing. Cannot see anything from Otley's car. Oh, Burkhardt did well to weave his way through that. Threaded the needle. Happened right in front of him. So Greg Otley cannot see the stopped car in front. Drives straight into him. Duncan Murray. Oh, gets on the grass. Flies past it. Does not get involved with the rest of the crashes. And away they go. So that's going to affect this race quite heavily then. This man, though, not affected by that accident. Definitely is going to help him a little bit from any time penalties from gaining advantage by contact lead, because the field may have been closer if not for that. We're going to see a number of drivers come in. John Bailiff still P2, 2.3 seconds the gap then to Sam Van Olst. Patrick Depart right behind him as well, on for his second podium of the season actually, if he can keep it here. ORD driver has been up there before. Cranston is still there, 2.7 seconds back. He's got Austin Farr for company and Morgan Burkhardt, the cream of the crop, rhyming to the top once again. Then Jake Cranston, Austin Farr, Morgan Burkhardt, reigning champion, two-time Jetta Cup champion and current championship rival. All chasing down this man in the Gold Wing machine. So who are the gainers from this then? Andre Marek's up into P7. He's got Dempsey behind P8. Andy Geschwind is in P9 right now. With a bit of a damaged car. Ruslan is in P10. Corpus, P11. Duncan Murray's up in P12. Jan Weiswager P13. We just said P26 to P13. Wasn't Morgan Burkhardt P26? He didn't finish. But still, near the back. We get the idea. Jan Weiswanger then near the back. He's up into P13 right now. He's got Marcus Giesdel up there as well for Viking Raiders, representing their team. That's going to be a lot of points for one car. Matt Sanderson not on the grid. Joe Gibson not on the grid this time round. There's two teams actually out there with one car right now. Three teams even. Pulsar Sea Sports, Viking Raiders, and Meatball Motorsport. Sam Van Olst sets a purple Sector 4 on the last lap. So he's still pushing. Austin Farr and Morgan Burkhardt side by side into turn 86. 4 laps remaining then on these two. You can get rid of those pit stop times. Jake Cranston says, I had 19x for the rest of the race now. A couple days after saying that the X limit should be lower. I'm sure at this point Austin Farr would agree with you. Mayrek and Dempsey going at it into the chicane then. So Dempsey trying to go around the outside of the final turn. I said earlier, going into the final turn on the outside tends to be stronger. And it looks like he's got the run in towards turn 1. He does try and swoop round the outside of Andre there. And I think he's going to get it done. He's going to have the inside to this kink, but then maybe not for this. He does get it done into the right-hander. Great move from the Irish driver there. Kieran Dempsey, number 86, on number 44. Brilliant stuff from these two. Agard is currently on track, sharing track with Stephen King in P17 and 18. They are chasing down Alejandro Carraday's 11.1 seconds up the road. Carraday chasing down Burns. We've got a little train behind Ruslan Kavadulan, Corpus Geschwind and Marias. And the gap then down to 1.2 seconds now. Lap 13 of 16. It looks like this fight's not done either. Andre Mayrek is going to try and take this back from Kieran Dempsey down towards the chicane. Brakes late. Swoops around the outside, then gives him the inside to the next apex. But Dempsey is going to keep the car there as they go up towards the hill. But who's going to get the run down the hill here? Mayrek's on the inside. Can he keep it off that curb, though? The bouncy curb. He doesn't actually bounce his car. He has a little bit of a bounce, but not too much that it affects him through there. Here we go then, down towards turn 1. Through this apex they go. Mayrek's still on the inside. Dempsey now will have the inside to the kink. And Mayrek's going to keep the inside to the right-hander. They're still side by side here. These two giving no quarter, but giving plenty of room. Great respectful stuff from these two as they go down the S's then. Dempsey, Mayrek fighting for P7 on track. Oh, Mayrek around the outside and the tree hides them. Who's going to come out in front then? It looks like Dempsey's gained the lead through there. And Mayrek's going to try and chase his way back down, but it looks like Kieran got a great run out of that left-hander. And it looks like Weissbanger says now the painful part. I can't see. Why? Nothing's happening. Was he out of fuel already? I don't think so. But Andy Fox is going to go around his outside into turn 6. Oh, he is out of fuel already. With laps to go. He said he's under fueled. Maybe he's just saving. Jake says he voted for the lower limit, but he got 8x'd from rear ends in the earlier phase. Just think if they did vote for the 10x limit or whatever it was, would have had a drive-through on lap 2, would have been a very different result. Weissbanger and Fox battling it out here then. This fight continuing, but Fox gets the inside, gets that move done. I think Weissbanger's trying to save on fuel here at this phase, but also fight at the same time. And look at this gap now then on lap 15 of 16. It was a 2-second gap earlier, but John Bailiff has closed to within 0.4 of a second of your leader. Patrick Depart still in this as well, trying to close him down. Morgan Burkhardt maybe a little too far back, 3 seconds back from your lead fight with only 1 lap to go after this. We're approaching our final lap. Austin Farr in P5, Cranston is in P6, Andre Marek P7, Dempsey P8. I didn't even see it. These two have swapped around again. How did this happen? Well, there you go. That's how it happened. Kieran's underfueled as well. Oh no. It's 3 seconds back to Ruslan Kamadulin, so I wonder how far he is going to go down the order then, if that is very much the case for Kieran. We've had more people underfuel this season than all the other seasons combined, it feels. Everyone trying to maximise those pit stop times. I know I said it was worth a lot, but it's also... you lose more if you don't fuel enough. Biggie Morello says it's hard to pick an X limit. It is indeed. These cars are so soft, but most of these drivers who drive them regularly are aware of that. 4X from the contacts can be so little. The meatball that Henry Morse got in this race was one of those that just shouldn't happen in this car, but it does, and they're never going to fix it because it's technically legacy but not quite legacy. I don't know if they got plans to bring it back anytime, but who knows. But this is your top 3 fight then after 16 laps. 2 big crashes and 1 pit stop for everyone. It's Vinolst, Bailiff and Depart separated by half a second as they exit that corner in for the final time into the turn 6 and 7 complex. Down the back straight they go, and it looks like Burkhardt's under pressure from Farr and Cranston as well. We've got 2 little groups of 3 here, and down the back straight they are going to go through turn 7. There goes your lead 3. Vinolst, Bailiff, Depart, Burkhardt, Farr, Cranston. Look at the gap to Majorek. There he is, all by himself on his lonesome. And it looks like Dempsey is going to come under pressure from them, and Bailiff is going to try and make a move on Sam Vinolst then. Down towards the chicane they go. Bailiff's on the outside. He's got the run. He's got later on the brakes as well, but Sam Vinolst on the inside as they go through the chicane. Round the outside then on the final turn. Can he get the run up the hill? And it looks like... oh no, he does slot back in behind, so he couldn't get the run back up. Sam Vinolst is going to take the lead of this then into the final turn once again. And Sam Vinolst wins for the first time this season. Bailiff in P2, Depart P3. Burkhardt's going to come home in P4. Mayorek's all by himself down through the final turn. And that's Ruslan, Corpus, Murray and Schwind. Looks like Murray's going to swoop around the outside of Corpus. Has he run out of fuel as well just before the line? I think he has. Is Geschwind going to get him as well? I don't think so, but it was close. And where's Dempsey then? Down in P12 after running out of fuel. Gestel comes across in P13, nearly claiming that as well. Caraday in P14 started the race on pole position, lost out at the start, gained it back, punted off. And then finishes in P14. Stephen King, who was in the barrier for a solid 10 seconds, brings it home in P15. Jake says, I've got Austin in the final corner. Morgan Burkhardt and Austin Farr side by side. It looks like Jake must have got the switch back on them. Here we go then. This is what it looks like. There you go. Great stuff. Indeed. Alright then, well, let's have a look at the results of the race. And there we go then. Sam Van Olst, Bailiff to Part, Burkhardt, Cranston, Farr, Mayerek, Kamadulin, Murray, Corpus, your top 10. Geschwind, Dempsey, Gjesdal, Caraday, King, Burns, Agard and Fox. Make it down to 18th place. Carl Ridley, Weiswanger, Morse, Thornton, Thon, Otley, Downing and LeQuay round off your 26-car field for this round. And your standings are as follows then from after this race. This is your current championship order, all penalties applied. And here's what it looks like. So, Winnet or Binnett still lead the team standings and extend their lead by quite a way from Street Casuals in this round, with a solid round for all three drivers. 1,022 points from Street Casuals, 954. Maybe with drop rounds it'll end up being closer, but at the moment they've extended their lead. ORD then jump up into P3 with Masters of Talk following them up into P4. Pulsars Esports drop down to P5 after Stephen King's crash in race 2. Send It or Bend It now going to be the ones hunting down Pulsars Esports with 701 points, 63 points behind. Goldwing Motorsports 665, Lurchus Gaming P8 with Parallel Racing Group up 518 points, chasing down that P8 in the standings. Zero Forks giving P10 with Viking Raiders P11 and Meatball Motorsport rounding off the field in P12. Your drivers' standings look a little bit like this then. Donny Henriksen, Rutten, Holmichael stay where they are, with Gibson dropping 3 places after his no-show today. Weiswanger stays where he is in 32nd place, with Duncan Murray jumping up 2 spots into 31st place. Anderson and Amundare also away today. They drop 5 places after their non-point scoring round. Loic Thon moves up 1 into 28th, just 1 point behind Ruslan Kamadulin, who jumps up 4 places into 27th place. Dan Thornton up into 26th at 149 points. Greg Otley up 1 place as well to 25th. Josh Germany in 24th now. Alejandro Caraday up 5 positions after today's round into 23rd place. Wallace and Manenveld away drop 5 positions. Gjesdal and LeQuay up 3 for Gjesdal into P20. The top 20 in the standings now. Ika LeQuay up into 19th place for Lurchus Gaming. Andy Geschwind up 4 places into P18 then, chasing down Andy Fox in P17, who's dropped 2 places. Timu Toika down 3 places down into P16 after he misses a round. David Corpus up 5 places then into P15 now, continuing his streak of being the lead Lurchus driver this season. But LeQuay trying to close him down, but with a result like today's, will not be able to. Will not be able to. So Morgan Burkhardt up 4 places then after his results. He's up into, well, it's a shame about race 1. He would have jumped a lot further up, of course, if he managed to finish race 1. But he's up 4 places anyway into P14. Dan Downing up 1 into P13. And Jerry Agard holds station in P12. Sam Van Olst P11 stays where he is. Down 4 places is Henry Morse after another sort of nightmare of a round. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, not a good day for Henry Morse. Down 4 places. Dempsey goes up 1 into P9. Stephen Burns holds fire in P8. Ridley down 3 places in P7. Patrick Depart P6 up 1. John Bailiff jumps up 4 positions into the top 5 in the standings. 5 points ahead of Patrick Depart. Andre Marek then up into P4 overall. Moves up 1 position, and your top 3 remain as they are, with Stephen King in P3, Austin Farr in P2, and Jake Cranston with nearly a 100-point lead for Masters of Talk. Again, drop rounds might make it closer, but it looks like, he's had a solid run of podium finishes this season, so it looks like he might be untouchable, and he's going to claim that 3rd title that he wanted so badly last time out, but he missed a few rounds due to a holiday, and Morgan Burkhardt took title honours last season round. Jake Cranston says, I didn't think there were any penalties at all in that race. You need to check. There were. Sam Van Olst did unfortunately receive a 5-second penalty for advantage by contact and didn't give the position back. So it does, although it's not every cloud has a silver lining, for example. Let's go through the stats quickly. I don't know if I will be able to, actually. Where's my Discord? I don't think I've got Discord open. But I know for a fact, without checking the stats, that was John Bailiff's 1st win this season. It does promote John Bailiff to his first win. And it's happened before, I think, where John Bailiff gets promoted to a win in the Jetta Cup. And it's happened again. So I'm sure he won't mind. But there we go. It's our 6th or 7th race winner. That's what I need Discord for. And I am opening it just now. Let's have a look. See. From the announcements. Yes, John Bailiff then makes it 7 different winners in 5 rounds and 10 races. Cranston has taken 3 wins, Morse 2, Burkhard, Farr, King, Ridley, and now Bailiff have 1. Sanvinol still trying to get that first one. He has the pace to do so. Just can he do it without touching anyone else? 3 drivers have got pole positions. We mentioned that earlier. 13 drivers still have got a podium this season. Obviously, that tally has changed slightly. Cranston now has 7 podiums in 10 races. Morse has 4, Farr has 3, Bailiff has 3, Ridley, King, Dupart, and Burkhard have 2 each. Toyko, Germany, Burns, Dempsey, and Majorek have 1 each. Fastest laps, 6 drivers have claimed fastest laps. Cranston has 4, Bailiff 2, Manetveld, Agard, Farr, and King have 1 each. And the highest scoring person in round 5 today was, in fact, John Bailiff with 111 points. So, good effort from Jonathan. And that is pretty much all we have time for. So, yeah. Congratulations, John Bailiff and Jake Cranston, for the winners of today. And thank you all for watching, wherever you are watching, whether it was on YouTube or Twitch. Thank you for getting involved in chat. Good to see you all again. Big Willow Springs up next. Not sure what to expect there. We haven't been there before. Willow Springs Motorsport Park. It is a new track. New track on the service. New track for the Jetta drivers. I've seen a few people practicing already. A few of these guys have not driven this circuit before, so it's going to be interesting for sure, especially the final turn. Which will be interesting with the way it opens up and you have to carry speed through. But it is what it is. Let's see what happens. Thank you all for joining. I'll see you next week. As usual, this is pretty much it from me. If I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on The Racing Line. Peace.